It's getting to be that time of year where you may be budgeting a bit more, and that might have you thinking of getting rid of your timeshare you've been paying on for a long time. Before you try to change things up, there's some steps to take first. Lane Montz is here from the Better Business Bureau to talk about that this afternoon. Lane, first of all, timeshares. There's a whole lot of different timeshares out there. I have one with, I'll say with Hilton, and you buy it and you pay it off eventually. It's like a mortgage. And then I have points to use at resorts in a lot of places, and also have access to RCI. Other timeshares, correct me if I'm wrong, you're paying for the right to have a certain room or a certain resort for like 2 months or 2 weeks of the year, or 2 weeks every 2 years, things like that. And of course, you all paid varying amounts for that. Is that correct?
Yeah, those fixed timeshares, that's how it started about 50 years ago with a specific place every year. But they're less common now, Dan, than they used to be. Your model's more common. By the way, if you want out of that, $10,000 and your social security number, I can get you out of that.
That's the scam.
Oh, yeah.
And even now, I mean, you listen to some radio and there's ads all the time or companies. Now, I'm assuming since they're on the radio, they're probably legit, but you never know. But we get phone calls all the time, like, yeah, you're not wanting to keep your timeshare, give us a call, it'll help you out.
Yeah, so timeshare exit companies are just as legitimate, and there are just as many frauds as there are in regular timeshare purchase. Right, so if you decide you want out of your timeshare, there are plenty of companies that want to help you, and many are legitimate. But there are some that are not. And the ones that reach out to you first with high pressure tactics and upfront fees, those are the ones that the BBB warns against. Don't take them at face value.
Yeah, here's some guidelines. So demand upfront fees, promise of a swift exit, lack of transparency, no detailed contracts. Those are just things just reek of scams.
They do, but when you're eager to get rid of the timeshare and you don't want to pay the maintenance fees anymore,
sure,
it sounds like what you want. I mean, it's enticing. So, but those are the high pressure tactics that the exit companies use. And unfortunately, there have been hundreds of complaints in the last 5 or 6 years. There are organized companies, and they just take the fees and they make a bad situation worse because those people don't get results. I'm not saying that is all exit companies, but there are some out there.
Do you find these are companies based in the USA, or are these companies based overseas somewhere?
Actually, you usually hear me say they're overseas, but in timeshare exit case, there are quite a few in Missouri and other parts of this country.
Now, why would that be?
I don't know. I can't answer that question, but numerous. And so you really do want to make sure that if you're doing the research, and by the way, I should point this out to the audience, when you begin to research an issue like this on your own, to do your due diligence, you are going to trigger, your searches are going to be noticed by web algorithms. You will be contacted by email and phone. So you kind of open yourself up. You should do the initiating after you've done your research, after you've checked them out with the Secretary of State, Attorney General, FTC. We're talking about big dollar money, assets. This is not something you want to take lightly.
So this is on Better Business Bureau's radar.
It is.
If people have questions, they should call the Better Business Bureau and talk to someone there about that, or what other steps should they make?
So really the best thing is to go to bbb.org and type in, you can just Google Better Business Bureau or BBB Timeshare Exit Scams. Our parent organization, the National BBB, has a wealth of information and articles about this. That the centralized IABBB is actually more knowledgeable than the local BBB, particularly because we don't live in a timeshare area of the country, really.
But if you get on that website, though, will that also trigger with Google?
I don't think so as much, no.
Because it's so weird. My wife will be having a conversation about maybe dogs or something, or jewelry, or really anything. And sure enough, on our Facebook page, here comes ads for dogs.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
It's the world we live in. There's no privacy anymore, is there?
No, but particularly if you were to go to a specific, if you were to click on a link in response to a timeshare exit email or your own search, that will definitely trigger the algorithm. So just expect that you will get solicited, but don't bite. Do your homework first.
Yeah. That's good advice. Always refer to the Better Business Bureau, of course. They're always there to help. give them a call or check out their website, and also, of course, do a lot of homework for yourself, and you'll be glad you do.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it.
Lane, always